What's going on, guys? It's Grand Life Productions back at it again with another video. Hope you guys have been doing good. I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves, and most importantly, I hope you guys have been working on your mindsets, and I hope you've just been getting connected more with God because I feel like in solitude, when you're alone, I feel like that's really the best time to connect back with the Father, to connect back with the source, because you can't hear from God when you're surrounded by so many distractions. You can't hear from God when everything is clouding your focus. You can't hear from Him if there's so much in the way. Like, let's think about it like this: you're trying to go down the street, but you're trying to see the cars that's coming in from the next intersection. You don't know when you should turn. You don't know when you should turn because there's so much stuff in your blind side, so you don't even know if when you could turn at all. You might turn and you might end up getting hit because you just didn't see that other car coming. So you need to be receptive, and you need to get the distractions out the way, because once you get the distractions out the way, you'll see how clear the road is. You'll see when it's good to go. You'll see when it's safe to proceed. But sometimes we never know. Sometimes we just go throughout life and we try to fix the problems ourselves, knowing that all we had to do was just go back to Him. All we had to do was just lock in. All we had to do was just get back right with ourselves. We had to unplug from this matrix. We had to unplug from this world. We had to unplug from all of these things that's taking our attention away, and that's nulling and nullifying our focus. All we had to do was just keep it simple. Thank God for the day. Give Him all the glory. Give Him all the praise. And we just proceed in the way that He would want us to go. But we got comfortable trying to do it our own way. And when our way doesn't work, we want to give up. We want to give up. We want to stop everything. But that's just a sign. And it's a great sign. Not to say that giving up is a great sign, but when we start to realize that our way isn't working, we need to go back to Him. We need to go back to Him. And honestly, I feel like as a man, the hardest thing any man can do is be alone, because a lot of men don't like to be alone. A lot of men, and they want to do everything in their power to make sure that somebody is there. They want to do everything in their power to make sure that they're like receiving some type of attention, getting some type of attention, because they're not comfortable with themselves. And honestly, I'm a victim of this. That's why I've gotten into so many relationships in the past, because I just wasn't okay with being by myself. Ever since like high school, because high school, that's when I first started getting into relationships. Like my freshman year of high school, that's when I first started getting into relationships. I don't think I've ever spent an entire year by myself. Ever since high school, like without being in a relationship, just being solo dolo, I never spent an entire year by myself. So, I want to know what that's like, because it's like when I get into the relationship, I start thinking about how good it might be to be single again. And I don't want to have these thoughts anymore. I don't want to go through these things anymore. I want to do what I got to do for me in this time while I have the opportunity to do. I don't have no girlfriend right now. I don't have no kids right now. So why not just take this opportunity to just go up? Why not just take this opportunity to run it up? I have nothing in my way. Instead of trying to create all these unnecessary problems for myself, why don't I just do the best that I can? Why don't I just do that? Why don't I do that? And it's easier said than done. And I'm going to tell you how it's so easier said than done. Because, I could say all this stuff and then do something completely differently, like as soon as this video is done and over with. But, when you're actually trying to live what you speak about, I feel like that just makes life so exciting.
it makes life so exciting because it's like, yo, I'm actually practicing what I preach. And when you practice what you preach, man, yo, that just changes life for you for the better because it's like you're experiencing a whole new reality that you never could have dreamed of. You never could have dreamed of actually, going through with your word. You never could have dreamed of actually being strong, being tough. I actually turned a chick down. And it's not even the fact that I turned a chick down because I turned chicks down before that wanted to get with me. I turned chicks down before, but I actually turned a pretty good looking chick down before. Like, I would entertain and I'd be like, yo, we could be friends or something, but I didn't do that at all because I'm gonna give you guys a scenario right here. I was at work and I'm just working. I'm in work mode right now. I'm in the zone, because I'm a waiter, so I'm busting down tables. I'm being there for the customers. I'm being there for the guests and everything. I'm cashing people out. I'm doing like Uber Eats orders and all that. And whole time, like, one of my tables, she was with her mom. So this was crazy work. She had asked me for a pen. I didn't know what she was asking. I didn't even know why she was asking for the pen because I didn't give her a check or anything. She just asked for the pen. And quite frankly, I didn't really care. Turns out she was writing down her number and writing down her name and everything. So when I cashed her out and everything, they walked out. I pick up the check. There was only like $4 left. So I'm like, that's pretty crazy. You only left me $4 for a tip. And then, like, after I pick up the money, it's a note and it says, read me. When I open up the note, it says, hi, my name is Kim. Here's my number. Call if you like. And I'm like, hey, yo. That's why she asked for that pen. So, when I saw that, I'm like, bro, I really could text this chick right now. I really could call this chick right now. But what is that going to do for me? I'm not in the place where I want to be. So why would I do that to myself? I'm not going to do it to myself because I literally just came out of a relationship. And that was a pretty good relationship. It only ended because I did some stupid stuff. And I just wasn't really fully ready for that. I wasn't ready for that commitment. So I'm not even going to go through another one. I'm not even going to put myself through another one when the same result could happen. Now, if she was like super attractive, bruh, I probably would have texted her. But, we probably wouldn't have went through anything or did anything because it's like, bro, it's no point. It's no point because it's like I'm trying to get myself right and, I'm trying to spend time with myself. I'm trying to understand who I truly am because I feel like we as men, we don't really take the time out for ourselves to figure out who we are. We are what other people tell us. Like, however people talk about us, however people think that we are, and however people tell us how we are, that's what we'll perceive and that's what we'll run with. But honestly, I feel like we just need to take the time out to actually slow things down and actually figure out what we want out of life instead of just leading like with our fleshly desires, our lust and everything. How about we actually try to go after some real goals? How about we actually try to actually win in life? How about we actually try to create like some type of generational wealth? Most guys like this, they're not thinking like this at all. Most guys nowadays are not thinking like this. They're just thinking about the next dopamine hit. The next dopamine hit won't mean nothing for you in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. That's not going to mean nothing. Going to all these clubs, going to all these parties right now, it's not going to do nothing for you. Messing with all these chicks right now, it's not going to do nothing for you. You got to leave them alone. You got to be okay with being by yourself because when you're by yourself, you don't have anything clouding your mind. You have no distractions. You don't got nothing getting in your way. So I feel like we just need to take the time out to do that. And I feel like once we do that, we know what it's like to be alone. So we'll know what it's like to handle and appreciate a relationship because honestly, if I knew what it was like to be alone, if I actually took that year to myself and actually took that time to myself, I feel like I would have been good. I feel like I would have been good. But it's just the fact that I never did that. I never spent a year alone. And people always going to try to tell me, it's like, yo, you could do all that stuff, but you could still, hook up with people. You can still hook up with chicks at the same time. It's like, bruh, I've been doing that all my life. I don't want to do that no more. I actually want to get serious with my life. I actually want to get serious with myself. And I actually want to get serious with the next person that I get with. So, I feel like certain things just got to change. We can't just keep on playing these little boy games no more. The time for all that little kid stuff is dead and gone. It's dead and gone. So let's put it to rest. Let's become great. Let's make our parents proud. Let's make our family proud. Let's make our child self, our inner child proud. Let's make him proud. Let's do that. Instead of trying to please everybody in this world, let's just please ourselves. Let's do that. Let's grow. Let's get smarter. Let's get wiser. Let's get stronger. Let's train. Bro, there's so many things we could be doing. We don't gotta just destroy ourselves every single day just because everybody else is doing it. We don't gotta do that. We could do things that help. We could do things that helps us out. Let's go down the right path. I feel like we have the capabilities to do it. I feel like we can do it. I feel like we can get it done. So let's make it happen. But yeah, man, I don't got nothing else to say. Subscribe to the channel if you rock with the content. If you want me to play a different game, let me know. Cause if you guys don't let me know, I'm just gonna keep on playing this Dragon Ball Z game. I know y'all be seeing me. I be boxing on this game. But yeah, if you want me to play something else, you want me to switch up the gameplay, let me know and I'll switch up the gameplay. But yeah, with that being said, this has been Grindlife Productions and we signing out. Peace.